In Italian there is a saying, lontano dagli occhi, lontano dal cuore. We buy a pair of shoes and then another and then maybe a dress, and at some point we don't really want to know how much we have spent. You just swipe the card and that's done. We're dealing here with the Ostrich Effect. This expression was coined in 2003, and this can truly relate to languages as well. It's easier to bury our head in the sand rather than dealing with a problem. When they are scared, there is this theory that they are hiding their head under the sand, below the sand, so they can escape any danger. And this is something that really reminds me of when you're so afraid that you close your eyes. If there's an animal attacking you, closing your eyes will not make it disappear, but that's something that we do. Hence the name of the effect, Ostrich Effect. And I could not help myself from finding an analogy also with languages. We tend to hide from what scares us in languages, and today I'd like to show you 3 practical examples and how I also deal with these, because I have done this myself. Uno dei problemi più frequenti è evitare l'ascolto. Uno dei problemi più frequenti è evitare l'ascolto. When learning a language, listening is crucial and it requires a lot of time to practice and to master. It's not 1 hour a week that's going to skyrocket your listening skills. It took me years of English listening to finally get to the point in which I can listen to native speakers at 1.5x or 2.0x. I have listened to English every single day for years. And on the contrary, with French, I struggle a lot. And this can be truly discouraging and demotivating. And this is also one of the reasons why I do not recommend watching TV shows when you're a beginner. It's too much to handle. We become the ostrich. It's too difficult, I don't understand a word, I am not listening. I don't want to do it. It's safer to avoid listening because you're not dealing with the problem. You need to listen to more stuff in the target language. J'ai amélioré mon écoute beaucoup, vraiment beaucoup. Grâce à YouTube, j'ai regardé une petite série. J'écoute le français tous les jours. Vraiment, parfois j'écoute les news, parfois j'écoute les professeurs de français en ligne, parfois j'écoute quelques trucs qui m'intéressent. Et avec ça, j'ai amélioré mon écoute. Je peux réellement voir la différence. I have on my YouTube the Watch Later playlist loaded with French videos, which I could not grasp, I could not understand without having to stop every single second of the video. So I decided to halt the entire thing. I saved them. I switched to something easier. And then in some months, I'll go back to these. And I'm already watching some of those videos. I've watched this Bill Gates video. I can watch some videos that are shown here at Arte. I don't know if it's arte. I read it in Italian, but I can finally understand big chunks, big portions of these videos. Of course, a lot of vocabulary is still obscure, but it's doable. Ale to jest też za trudne i nie będę mówiła w tym języku, bo nie wiem jak się wyrazić. When I was speaking French before, probably in the video, it will be super edited because I struggle a lot with speaking. Speaking and writing are active skills and they require so much work. Everything about language learning requires work. It's like rehearsing for a very important speech. I want to get my vocal folds to remember and get used to certain sounds. My mouth and the muscles here, I need to practice the sound. It's like when we go to school and we start repeating the syllables to make the correct sound. I will always remember an English teacher I had. She wanted us to learn how to read question in English because Italian people would say question. In Italian we have questione. It's very natural for us to read it question. So our teacher made us repeat so many times question and question. Question. And we repeated it so frequently. I was so bored. I got so used to it. And you just wanted to pronounce it in a nice way because you were so bored because of that exercise. I had a similar situation with the sound th. 3. Oh, whoa, I remember during university it was a nightmare. The reason why we do this is to practice how to produce the sound. It's good to read articles, it's good to listen to a video you find enjoyable. Sometimes I just pause and try to read aloud, or I try to repeat what's been said in the video. Another aspect which is not a practical skill in languages, sometimes we get too fossilized. We just become so stubborn. We're so familiar with one method, we do never try to do something different. For instance, I got used to using my Assimil book when I'm in Rome. At the moment, I do not have it with me, so I had to find different ways to improve my French grammar and input. Being forced to do so made me also understand that I had some gaps. I've done some exercises that do not exist on the Assimil book, and I found it so refreshing because I can do something different. I also go on ChatGPT and I ask to create a story or a summary of something that I'm genuinely interested into. For example, I have been watching You, the Netflix TV show. Incredible show. If you are a good English speaker, I highly recommend it because you learn so many advanced expressions there. I asked to create a summary of the series in French with a B1 kind of vocabulary, and some of the verbs, some of the words, I didn't know them. So I was interested in reading the summary and I got to see new expressions. Don't be selective and don't be stagnant with your exercises. If you see that something is way too repetitive, you're getting stuck in a rut, try to do something new. On the internet, you can find plenty of ideas. You could try spinning wheel to memorize some words or testing yourself. You can generate a text with ChatGPT. You could start a course, find new creators, find new YouTubers, buy a book. Get curious about your hobby, but use the language you're actually learning. You could also, for example, start speaking to yourself if you're not doing that and describe your day. Download a mock exam and do it. Practice. There are so many different types of exercises you could actually do, and you cannot possibly be doing all of them every single day. So it's also good to find stability, but not getting stuck. Non nascondere la tua testa sotto la sabbia. Don't hide your head under the sand, because I think that the moment we are facing that number on our bank account, the moment we are actually noticing that our habits are not that healthy after all, the moments in which we see that, oh, I'm not good with phrasal verbs in English, let's ignore them. Phrasal verbs are still used in the language, they'll keep existing. If I ignore a plumbing problem, a heating problem in my house, well, sooner or later it's going to get back at me and I won't be able to do much if not to solve it, because it's necessary. You can truly find ways to do something you're not good at in ways that can be enjoyable. So don't be an ostrich. Try sometimes to get the head out, have a look, take a glimpse, and you might never know. Maybe going that extra mile is that one step that was separating you from understanding much more complex things which you thought would be impossible to understand. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comments if you have ever encountered this problem. Let me know if I'm striking a chord with this one, and I will see you very soon with a new piece of content. Here I'm leaving you something extremely interesting if you want to improve with TV shows, so don't miss the video, and I'll see you next time with a new one. Besos!